Okay, my YouTube friends, my latest creation. I call this one my JunkYard gasser. That's why on the body, I've heavily weathered it. I did that by first spraying the color rust and flat black, and then some of the panels I did a third color, and then I proceeded to do some heavy sanding. So I sanded it down until I got the look I was looking for. And then to preserve all my weathering, I then covered it with a coat of clear. Just to preserve all my weathering work. And I gotta have my Florida plates dangling from an old chain. I like the interior of my trunk. We covered with aluminum panels. And the seams, you'll see it looks like it's welded, but it's actually, I used my hot glue gun and then painted that with silver to make it look like wells. Got our battery in here. All the electronics, easy switch to turn on. 2S LiPo battery. And if you have a 57 gasser, you gotta have a high lift jack. Just for emergencies. So I mounted that. And I've got a few decals. Now I want to let everyone know that a really good friend of mine donated this body to me. You need to check him out. He's the RC broker. So I've got his sticker on here, so he's always part of this build. Since how he gave me the body to use. And he's on Whatnot. Check him out. Awesome dude. You'll enjoy watching him. And I used some kind of rustic hinges exposed on the top. Just another way to give it that junkyard look. I even weathered the Hoosier tires, make them look worn. But lots of detail, folks. Heavy gauge copper wire used for my headers, all hand built. And this heavy gauge I used wasn't easy to bend. It was a challenge. Aluminum straight axle front end. I do have an aluminum firewall in it. And I've even got a tap on the dash, like all the gassers back in the 60s era did. Fuel tank on the front with fuel lines going to it, metal fuel lines. Engine compartment. Weeks and weeks of work. Aluminum firewall, like I said. You got some radiator lines coming out. Also have a brake master cylinder with metal brake lines coming from that. Now, folks, I get these engines from shapeways.com. Check them out. They make some amazing 3D parts for builders. Then you got to put this thing together, though. And everywhere as I was building it, that a real engine would lead a bolt, I drilled and added a metal screw just to give it more detail. And they're everywhere. The carburetors, the blower, front water pump. And this is a all aluminum RC 4-wheel drive front radiator. Most realistic thing I've ever saw. RC 4-wheel drive, check them out. They make some amazing parts for builders. All the wiring, even got a coil with the plus and minus wire to that. You look close, you'll see a fuel pump down there with a metal fuel line going all the way up to the carburetors. Each individual carburetor. Those also have metal screws to make it look real. But, oh, and the belt also is a real rubber belt. And I glued it on in a way to where it looked heavy, like a real one would. But turned out pretty awesome. But now, to the really good part. Of course, this baby has audio. That's where you flip the switch on. And here's my Tactic radio. And it's loud. It's open headers, just like it should be. You have to leave it alone for a moment. It'll shut off on its own. Well, thanks for checking out, everybody. And until the next one, hope you guys like it. Take care. Have a great day.